Hello everyone, Blue Star Saber here once again to do another Star Wars review. But this time, it's the brand new Star Wars Disney Plus series, Star Wars The Acolyte. You see there was one pre-comment there from Derpy Entertainment going, yo Derpy Entertainment, nice to see you. I'm surprised you didn't you did your usual hello there. Though granted, it seems like I waited too long to start playing this video or starting this video live. So it seems like you're no longer here. But yeah, I said hello here as everyone can see. But unfortunately, you are no longer here. So I guess I now have to just continue with the discussion. But yes, Star Wars The Acolyte. Perhaps the most controversial Star Wars show that has been discussed pre-online. And that controversy, I believe, is mostly due to let's see, hold on, let me just let's see, share screen. Due to this, hold on, let me just see. Let me just see if I can find the person. No, I can. Here we go. Here we go. Due to this person here, Leslie Headland, who was a showrunner for this, who has arguably said apparently some controversial political themes and other sort of like controversies about how she's going to be running the show, talking about her politics and stuff like that. Something like she's got a feminist agenda. And this is also probably a bit of also another controversy is the fact that she is the personal assistant of she was once the personal assistant of Harvey Weinstein, which you can tell all the controversy surrounding that, but but yeah, well, granted, I don't think anything has been proven or disproven, and otherwise, I doubt Disney Plus or Kathleen Kennedy would have let her run the show. So hopefully, nothing bad happen. But nothing bad from that happens. But at the moment, yeah. But anyway, this show has also got some controversy by as more time went on, where the premise of the show is that apparently we'll be following an acolyte of the Sith. Is that like at least a few like before the events of the Phantom Menace, the at least 100 years. We were expecting a Sith full-on show, but as time went on, more behind the scenes things were released, and it turned out that it was not really a show on. It wouldn't be a show that would directly follow the Sith or on the dark side, but rather you get a lot of points of view, particularly from the Jedi. And in fact, it seems like the Jedi, from what I can tell from these two episodes, appeared to be the main lead, with like the Acolyte being the villain they're trying to chase. Which I think also caused some controversy because some people were looking forward to a dark side, Ritzy-centric show, but turns out that's not the case. But yeah, and especially when the trailers come out, so there is all that kind of controversy, and also the fact that episodes would be roughly around 30 minutes, which so many people feels that's not a long time, especially since there's only 8 episodes. So yeah, those are mostly the controversies of the Acolyte. But now that I've gotten all that, I think it's time that I get on with the actual review and summary of the first episode. Pretty much the first episode, titled Lost/Found, which begins, where this first scene was actually shown in the events of like post credits of the 25th anniversary re-release of the Phantom Menace, where a mysterious assassin paying some some sort of like I believe a peddler some money for like details of a Jedi that apparently landed here or was about here in a sort of like cantina, where this Jedi master is by the name of Indra, challenging her to a fight, getting the members of the bar laughing. She beats some of them up. Indra at first reluctant to fight, since a Jedi does not generally tend to fight. and eventually starts fighting her. No, not with a lightsaber. Mostly it's with martial arts and the use of the Force. And to eventually she draws her dagger, until eventually the assassin draws her dagger. The Jedi eventually unmasks her, and Ritzy and sort of identifies her as someone that she knows. And at this point, the Jedi, the Acolyte, then the assassin ends up throwing one of the daggers at the bartender's bystander, and but the Jedi Master, which uses the Force to intervene and stopping like the death of the cantina, but she ends up getting thrown in a stab by one of the knives herself, which I guess look kind of like kunais, I guess, and she ends up dying as a result. The assassin, takes her, the Acolyte takes her knives, if you will, from their Jedi, and then the bartender. It tends to kill the bartender, but Ritzy stops doing that. But Ritzy does not do it in the end when he sees the bartender's little young child. So she changes her mind and ends up leaving the sort of bar, if you will. We then cut to like the next scene where let's see where we are in this space where we get this mechanic, if you will, sort of like let's see, a sort of like a mechanical engineer kind of thing for like that living like let's see, mechanic, I guess you will, for the engines, that, you know, what astromechs do for like Star Wars with, like, you know, R2D2, who wakes up with and collects her sort of pocket droid thing called Pip. Well, let's see, she's summoned to an alarm to do some repairs with her friend called Felix, as they are working for the Trade Federation with the Neomedonians, where they are helping their vessel, I believe, what's called a WD-2550 wider class wider class let's see, transport fleet, I believe. If I had to describe it, it looks like it looks like one of those kind of, it looks kind of like the top of a maybe sort of shuttle of like got the shuttle bit of like let's see, the Rebellion kind of thing. You know, I'm just gonna share the screen for this. I'm just gonna share the screen for this one. On the Wikipedia, I don't really know how to. Let's see if I can describe it. It's a I'm gonna just share the screen. I'm sure, hopefully, Wikipedia won't mind me showing the image. I apologize if I'm not allowed to. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Yeah, this is the shuttle here that she's repairing. Let's see. I guess it kind of looks like like one of those it kind of reminds me of like the front bit of one of those Rebel Alliance ships that Nebulon cruisers, I think they're called. Let's see, but yeah. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. Well, they're being tasked by the Neomedonians to try and fix the comm thing. You get them having a bit of chit chat. Let's see. Eventually, a little fire happens, and she tries to repair it, but she seems to get some PTSD trauma from childhood when she sees fire before a friend reminds her to stop daydreaming work. But just as they let's see, do so, a Jedi Vector starship comes flying around the trade ship, and let's see, she has let's see, her partner ends up asking, are they friends of hers? Let's see, the Jedi Knight with it, let's see, is called Yord Fondler with his Padawan Tassa Lola. They enter the bridge. They demand to know where the former Jedi Osha and Anseli are, where they try to deny it, but the Jedi starts to use the Force to try and do a mind trick, but the female Neomedonian officer says that Osha is at Bunk 23, where the Jedi ends up, going there to meet Asha, where Asha enters her quarters, finds you're there, and seems to be having at first a nice warm greeting with her. He introduces this Padawan. It looks friendly at first, but she starts to realize he's being a bit, wary of her, starting to ask why he's here. In which she learns that she's been accused of a murder of Jedi Master Indara, which she denies that she was here last night, but unfortunately for her, she's been accused. The bartender identifies her as the Jedi, which when she first woke up, it makes you think that it looks like her and all that. Even though, and regardless of what her friend might think, he thinks that he is guilty and has her arrested, whereas she is because she is at least a former Jedi from 6 years ago. Anyway, we then cut to a Jedi Master by the name of Sol instructing a group of younglings who are talking about all the bits of the Force on them. One of them sort of talks about fire, which the Jedi Master does respond. The Force is like an ocean of fire, and it's something they must respect. Then Jedi Master Ventress Roroth, who apparently is a very regular in the Star Wars High Republic novel series, as this show is the first live-action show based on that series. There's also that little young animated Jedi Adventures series where you get 3 youngling Jedi. I've only seen a few episodes. But I do know that it's popular with little children, so but it's not really something you probably get to see most Star Wars fans watch. I mean, I've tried to watch it, but I will admit the episodes are for very young people, so it's a very slow process. She informs him that her Jedi Master Indara is dead, and her ex-Padawan is accused of the murder. He's a bit shocked by this, but doesn't seem to believe that she would do this, so must be a mistake. But she does promise the Jedi Master, Vanestra Roth to be not to speak of this, as their political enemies might try to use this against a Jedi with news of a Jedi killing a Jedi. And then we cut to the prison ship where Asha is meeting her fellow inmates. One of them trying to when she's asking about this one little parasite on one of them, which they explains that it's called a dobak, which apparently they use for more dangerous prisoners. They identify her as the Jedi killer, but she denies that. They talk about having an escape plan, but she does not want to do that and trusts the trial. She trusts the judgment of the Jedi, but they activate this escape plan as one of them is a cyborg from the other cell, is somehow able to shut down the droids through his cyborg abilities. And then another one with a sort of tentacle forehead. I don't really know how to describe it. It's like a tentacle arm that comes off his forehead, and then he wraps around the guard droid, breaks it, uses his arm to free them and the other prisoners, but they leave Asha behind, who didn't want to go with their plan. And she eventually escapes when she tries to do a bit of a force attempt, but she grabs her sort of droid Pip, who ended up being released from wherever the cargo was held for her. And she ends up able to get out of her cell once he's able to reach him enough and activate the screwdriver part of his head. And then she's about to enter escape pod, but decides to help the dangerous prisoner get the parasite off him. It starts flying away, but he pushes her aside and gets on the pod, leaving her to die in the ship's crash. In which then we cut to Coruscant, where the new Jedi Padawan of Jackie Lan for Master Sol is informing him that Master Roth is requesting her present. She gets curious why he has old holographs of his former Padawan, but doing it's sentimentality and nostalgia. which worries that leads to attachment. But he says that it's more of a reminder to serve as the lessons, and so he doesn't doom to repeat the mistakes of the past. With her accepting this answer, Jedi Master Soul goes to find Master Roth, where we see that all the prisoners that attempted to escape are now behind Jedi cells, but they try to blame the Jedi killer. Eventually, Master Soul uses the Force trick on the crazy one, the dangerous one, revealing that she tried to save him and he abandoned her, which gives Master Soul some release. But Roth says that still does not prove her of her innocence, and he volunteers to go find her. Asha then, back on the ice planet of Karlek, awakens and tries to, sort out her, situation, but sees a vision of her, then revealed to be twin sister May. And during this vision, she finds out that she is the one that's been killing the killing the Jedi and framing her, realizing that she's alive. Eventually, which then leads to we then cut to where we have Jedi Master Soul with his Padawan Jackalan with Jedi with the Jedi Knight we saw at the beginning. Lloyd, I believe. Yeah, Jedi Master Yoid, where it was the Padawan's first assignment, and which is not something her master intended. They brought your lord, which she seems not entirely happy about, and they end up running into him shirtless, with her saying, "Put your shirt on." Him being a bit awkward about it, and then eventually end up discussing on what to do on the when they're having a bit of talk on the Jedi ship. They end up learning a bit of Osha's backstory about her being a sole survivor from 16 years ago. She took him in as a Padawan when her sister May caused a fire, which she is surprised. With both Yoid and Lon surprised that she had a twin sister, particularly Yoid, because he knew her for so long. End up learning that they start wondering if the Padawan starts wondering if she's actually possibly the killer, but Jedi Master Yoda insists that he's dead. They start finding the scavengers try to investigate the ship, thinking one of them thinks it's scavengers, but Jedi Master Yoda thinks it's her Padawan. Her former Padawan. They eventually discover her. She tries to run away, but it leads to a cliff edge. She nearly falls, but Yor uses the Force to catch him, and she tells him that she believes May is alive, and Jedi Master Yor believes him, and then say they will come with them as they leave the cliff together. I think his then current Padawan tries to handcuff the Osha, but he tells her not to. And then the episode ends where you get May walking this rocky shore, where May 4 is talking about Jedi living in a dream, believing everyone shares, and says that those who attack Jedi without weapons fail, since steel and lasers are no threat to them. He says that an Acolyte kills without a weapon, adding that the Acolyte kills the dream. With May approaching this figure, he draws out a red lightsaber, ending the episode. Okay, thoughts on this first episode? Okay, I will admit I like the fight scene. The fight scene at the beginning, I thought was pretty. I thought the fight scene at the beginning was pretty good. I do like how the members of the bar thing are laughing at this Acolyte challenging a Jedi to fight. Challenging this Acolyte challenging a Jedi to a fight because they know how strong a Jedi is, and thinking that she's crazy, but she ends up taking them out anyway. So I do like that. It is interesting because the Acolyte May is pretty much seems to be on the impression that a Jedi will accept a challenge to a fight, but we know, but anyone that knows Star Wars lore, that Jedi are pretty much self-defense. They will never do the first strike and if they do, well, at least that's generally what they're not supposed to do. And if they do, that's either they're being young and patient or letting their anger get the best of them, which is something that you don't really want to do for a Jedi because you might end up falling to the dark side. But yeah, the fights, I do like how you've got this, let's see, martial arts fight scene. Let's see, the lightsaber not being used, it's in that much, but let's see, with them Jedi using the Force to, let's see, move away the person from the fight, and even using the Force to save a few bystanders. And I do like how the Acolyte, May ends up using, the Jedi's, let's see, compassion for others to distract them from saving them at the cost of their own life, I do like how she seems to. Though, granted, I think there will be some controversy with how the fact that after so many few times where someone has not died from a stab from a lightsaber, just a simple stab from a knife actually kills a Jedi. Which I think this is a bit of a problem with Star Wars, where certain times when a weapon lightsaber stabs does not kill someone when it should, but when other weapons do, it's like for the sake of the plot, really. It's like some survive certain wounds, no matter, even if it just seems illogical, for the sake of like whatever going on with the plot. But I think it's safe to be for the Acolyte. That's not that's not its fault that other shows and movies have done. Let's see people surviving lightsaber stabs through the chest, or like near the elbows or like bellies and all that. So I won't blame the Acolyte for that. Granted, it's interesting that May seems to show some compassion for like the bartender when it's revealed he has a child. So it makes me think that let's see, deep down she has some compassion, and there is some good in her. At least there's some humanity, if you will. But it does make me think that let's see, she's going to fail as like the Acolyte Dark Apprentice, if you will. As a Sith would not hesitate to probably take down both the bartender and the kid, because that is the nature of the dark side. But yeah, let's see. So otherwise, the fight was pretty good. I will admit, the whole mystery of like is Osha the actual killer or not? But turns out, let's see, the actress is playing two characters and they're like twins, which I will admit it's nice that you got a canon story having like a good twin, bad twin kind of situation. You did have a little one of those first episodes in the first season, Star Wars Visions, doing that, but it was pretty much, but that's non-canon really, where you had like a good light side brother and a dark side sister. And let's be honest, the original trilogy, even though they had Luke and Leia's twins, that plot line never really led to much really in that era. But that's mostly because I think it was supposed to, the original trilogy was supposed to be more than just 3 episode movies, but due to stuff that happened with George Lucas's personal life and also the the Directors Guild thing, kicking him out. Let's see, he was unable to probably do what he was originally going to do. But nevertheless, the Return of the Jedi is a solid ending. But yeah, so we had that, and Luke's. But yeah, so we have now this relationship with the twins. Now, granted, with the way the marketing goes, many was expecting with the way it was implied that Osha was actually the former Padawan of like the Jedi Master Yor, but she fell to like the dark side. And now as an assassin trying to kill Jedi. I mean, granted, she is also there. You see May and Asha in the trailer as the two separate things, but let's see, it wasn't really clear if they were twins or not, but now that is the case. I do like how we actually got to see Nemadonians in the Trade Federation because they would exist during this time period, so it's nice to see them. Now, granted, it is interesting that they have a very different shuttle compared to the ones they have from the Phantom Menace, because I do know that in that Star Wars Eclipse game that I still have no idea if it's coming out or not, and it seemed to imply they still had those their regular Trade Federation stations, though granted, I guess this is just a shuttle different from that, but yeah, I do like the design of it. It does remind me of some like previous designs of other Star Wars ships from like the original trilogy era, but yeah. Um, I do like it's. I do like how we've got like a protagonist that is a former Jedi who left the Order 6 years ago, and she was recruited when she was 8 after her entire family was and village was destroyed from her sister. But due to her emotional attachments and all that stuff, she could not, stay in the Order and then had to leave. I do like how she seems to be quite. She seems to have a history with Yord. I'm not sure if there's any romantic tension there, but Yord seems to be one that follows by the rules. Though he seems to have a habit of having doing the wrong position of when someone enters because he's like sitting down and then it's like, oh, I gotta stand up, and then it's like trying to change, but like, oh, I get caught. So he seems to like tries to be professional, but seems to let his guard down. Ritzy to trying to relax one two a bit, but yeah. I do like how it seems like Yord Yord might it seems like Yord doesn't regardless of how Yord feels about Osher, it seems like he won't question like a witness's judge thing. So it seems like it implies to me that he does want to believe in his former colleague. I will admit it's a little disappointing that we never see Ferrick's reaction to the fact that his co-worker, for the mechanics and all that, is was a former Jedi that is being now accused of murder. I feel like that character was just that character could have had a bit more, could at least had one more scene or two before Asha was taken away. Maybe even trying to vouch for her, but he didn't see her last night, to be fair. I do like the little pocket pit droid thing that they used to help build with mechanics, and then it was used to help her escape a prison cell with like the detachable head for the screwdriver. I thought that's like a little nice gimmick, like little nice new tool for the droid. Let's see, and it seems to be this series droid gimmick for the series because like nearly every Star Wars show you get a new type of droid entering this things. This one is more of like a one for a detachable head, but with like a tool thing for the pocket, which allows her to do communication, scanning, and all other sort of device use. I'll admit, the costumes, I think, look pretty good for the most part, particularly with the more alien-like creatures. I think some of the more humanoids, I have seen criticism saying that they look a bit fake, particularly like the Padawan that entered with Jedi, Jedi Yoid. Hold on, let me just find, let's see, yeah, the name of this Padawan is Tassi Loa. She appears to be a Zygarian. Ooh, that is a very interesting choice there. But granted, I will admit that. Granted, I will admit the she does. Let's see. I would not have been able to tell that was a Zygarian at first, but then again, I guess it's the animation style is different from like live action. Granted, it seems like her top bit of her hair, let's see, the design is looks like makeup, but the rest is just the actor's regular human face. So that probably is what threw me off. So interesting that you have a Zygarian Jedi, given like the history of Zygarians and with their slave empire against the Jedi. But then again, I guess it goes to show that the Jedi won't hold a species' entire culture and history against them from joining their order. Now, granted, there are probably some species that would be unable to join the Jedi Order, but you have that. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, she gets arrested. I will admit, the design of the droid guard, let's see, I don't know, it feels a bit too bulky, and the head doesn't really feel like it matches the thing, but oh well. The tongue alien, that was an interesting look there. I do like the let's see, autopilot droid chairs for like the prisoner ship, which let's see, this best let's see, this it's I believe it's called a DTECSA 17. I guess it kind of reminds me of like something that you would see from like a, Millennium Falcon type frigate thing, but much more, but with like let's say, but like with engines on the side and a more pointy end thing. So that's an interesting design for a ship. But yeah, but I do like how let's see, despite the fact that many of the prisons offer Osha to escape, she still believes in the Jedi and their teachings and thinks that they will get a fair trial, and denies being a killer, and even tries to say help this one prisoner, let's see, that's been restrained by a parasite-like alien, showing a sort of good nature, even though that makes even though that pretty much makes it oops sorry even though that gets her in let's see, even though that guy abandons her and leaves her to her fate. And in many ways, this bit here kind of shows like perhaps the sort of compassion she has, that maybe she's not this assassin. Though granted, she did spare a father and a daughter earlier, the Acolyte, but either way, it does let you have doubts. Oh, Master, is probably my favorite character amongst this show so far, and we see him just trying to teach youngins. In many ways, I think the actor is from the Squid Game, and this is his first English speaking role. And apparently, he's based some of his mannerisms on Qui-Gon Jinn, making him maybe perhaps a Jedi similar to him, even though not full of ideology. Let's see. He seems to have some sort of attachments to Osha, though father-daughter, but also perhaps she's on his mind. It's more like to remind him not of his failures with his like current Padawan, which is believe is that person is played by hold on, let's see, let me find the Jedi Vector. No. Let's see, hold on. Jacka Long. Let's see, played by oops. Let's see, it was played by Daffa Keen, who was, if you might remember, was their child from Logan. Though let's see, and apparently the star from Dark Materials. Though granted, this Padawan, despite let's see how young she looks, is let's see, born from like 100 let's see and 50 BBY. This timeline is like 132 BBY. I will admit, I thought she was a lot younger than that, but let's see. I know. Let's see. She definitely had, but I know. I guess I was mistaken. But yeah, I thought she was younger, but yeah, she's like roughly around the same age as like Anakin was in the Attack of the Clones. But I guess that might be. I'm not sure if that's due to the makeup design, but yeah. But anyway, she is apparently a feeling Jedi, as let's see, the character as she seems to be based off of the feeling of the feeling character that was introduced based on the villain species of Ristal Saint, which was one of those characters introduced in the special edition of Return of the Jedi with the Jedi Rock song, one of the more controversial changes George Lucas has done, given like the more corny song that was for some people, and also that let's see CGI alien, but yeah, feeling human hybrid, so of the feeling species, so yeah, they are. Let's see. Apparently, this was a personal favorite for the showrunner, so she decided to add this design in with this character. I do like how she's pretty much like what you would expect of a Padawan, asking questions of like the master, and particularly about her previous Padawan, and talking if he's like attached or not. But the master tries to assure her that's not the case, and even trying to do a lesson about how to have Ritzy keeping holograms of her to remind her of like her past mistakes, and so he does not doomed to repeat them. Though I do think he does have some personal attachment from when he ends up interacting with Yoff when he learns that she's been accused of murdering the Jedi. Interesting how they got this character from all this different High Republic material, and that she's finally in the show, and she seems to be like this sort of I don't know what her character's like in like all the books and comics she's appeared for the High Republic, but she kind of reminds me of like a sort of like it's this time period's Mace Windu of like Jedi follows by the rules kind of thing situation. But I do like how he seems to be convinced that Osh is not guilty or bad when he uses the Jedi mind trick to find out if a prisoner is when a prisoner says that when the prisoner tries to lie, the dangerous prisoner tries to lie about her character, but is like, oh, she saved him. But I think there was some disappointment that the Flash Vision thing revealed that, May and Osh are actually twins and two separate characters. As I think some people are hoping for a more long-term mystery, but I think it's fine as they're doing like a hunt for it. And I do like how once like some of the Jedi learn about the whole twin thing, some of them suspect, but Jedi Master Yor's like, nah, she's dead. But when May tells him that she's alive, I didn't do it, he believes her at showing the trust he has in her. And despite whatever history they might have had since they separated, they still have a sense of trust. Now, I will admit the first step, the end bit with like this Dark Sith thing, that went by too fast. Honestly, with like the whole dreams, the things, but it seems like this Acolyte has been tasked with trying to kill a Jedi without using a weapon and to try and fight smart. So this is trials and just pointing out the lightsaber and like just talking to her. I don't really know what the purpose of this was, but I guess it was just like reminding her of her assignment and what she needs to do. But yeah, it felt very quick. It felt like a very cut thing. So yeah. Overall, I'd say the first episode is a 7 out of 10. I think 7 out of 10 at best. Maybe I know some people have given it a 5 out of 10 at worst. But yeah, I think at best you can give this a 7 out of 10, or at worst a 5 out of 10, depending on how you feel about some of the things. I will admit the costumes and the Peretzi designs were pretty good in the particular ships, though granted there are some, I think, background scenes that and some sets that make it feel a bit cheap, I guess. I mean, granted, it's a TV show. It's not going to have the same quality budget as movies, but I don't know. I think there's some stuff that's done better there. The action scenes are good. For the most part, the characters, some of the characters, I think at least there's at least enough interesting characters enough with like Jedi Master Yor, there's like former Padawan and Osha, a former Jedi, and her twin sister, the Acolyte. Some of the others may not yet get the interest, though. I do hope for some drama thing, but I do kind of wish that this episode was like maybe 10 minutes longer, where we get a few more interactions between characters and more about them. But I guess that is more of just a problem with like the setup of like the structure of the show. But yeah, I'd say I had fun with the episode. At least it's not the best of the Star Wars live actions, but I don't think it's as bad as what some people were expecting. Though granted, if you go online, you can still see people complaining about the episode. So yeah. Anyway, on to the next episode. Episode 2, Revenge and Justice. Where this episode starts with on the planet Omega, where there's a Jedi temple, where a human girl tries to distract a gatekeeper droid, allowing May to disable it, and then inside the temple, where there's a Jedi master called Torben that is meditating. She tries to challenge him for a fight, but he's levitating the Force, and she is unable to get close to him as the Force barrier is seemingly protecting him, as he's doing some sort of like sort of ritual or something. And this other random Jedi, bearded Jedi, enters in, And some people, this will be like, oh, the only white guy in the show, because there's only identity politics behind the scenes discussions that you're having with like online with the fandom. So you have that, but she's unable to kill him. Let's see. Let's see where you then cut to Osha waking up, seeing that Master Yor's current power runner's having trouble trying to activate the ship. She gives him some advice on power couplings and then starts responding. And they talk a little bit with like the whole what she does as a job, and she's a mechanic, and we're talking about what isn't that something like an astromech does, but she tries to joke around how she's better company and more flexible, and introducing her droid. Where at the same time you have Master Saul and Yord talking about Osha, with Yord protesting that she doesn't really trust Osha if he's like killed. Let's see if he killed Master Indra, but Yord tries to insist that it's May, and he's still a bit skeptical. It's her. He's still a bit skeptical that she might be in cahoots with this May, or let's see, surely she couldn't be able to kill a Jedi, even though Yor points out that Osha hasn't been a Jedi for 6 years. Well, eventually he ends up. Let's see. Tells Yor not to let his judgment cloud him, which I guess contradicts what I said, that he seems to like trust her from like last episode. He seems he still has some doubts about her, but let's see. So my mistakes there. But anyway, he gets a hologram message from Master Ventress War talking about how there was like how he talks about how he believes that it's now May that's actually doing the assassination, which she seems to believe because of someone being identified looking like Osha trying to sneak in the Jedi Temple of Oleg, and it matches May's descriptions. But if May is with her, it can't be her. So she says to go and investigate after asking whether or not he should bring Osha back or not, and has told us to bring Osha there, as well as, let's see, she might be able to be helpful with like her due to her connections with her sister. Where tells the crew that they're going to there. You get you're protesting a bit, but he insists that that's what they need to do. But says that this is the authority of the council, and tells him to like trust that Osha could help them. So yeah. Eventually, you get May entering a shop where she meets a man named Quimmer who seems to be in cahoots with her, talking about who seems to be sleeping, but gets her to wake up. He seems to have taken over this shop, stealing the guy's clothes and stuff, and then taking some of his things to drug. I'm not sure if it's alcohol or drugs, but either way, he seems to be knackered from like from last night, and they end up talking about her mission as she needs to kill 4 Jedi, one of them being a Wookiee, mocking her, teasing her about how she needs to kill without a weapon, and like this is what the Master wants, but let's see, kill one of them without a weapon, so it would please the Master. But she says she needs to do it her way, and she gives him like gives her some sort of poisons, believing that every Jedi is a weakness. Even mentions, and there's even a little bit of Fitzy, and he seems to think that the Jedi try to justify the galactic dominance through peace, but Mara goes like peace is a lie, and something a bit about the Sith code, and then gives her some sort of yellow liquid that will give to the Jedi, saying that after protesting that the Jedi has no weaknesses, but he says like Jedi, everyone has weakness, including Jedi, and believes that this thing will give her, this liquid will be used to give him some peace, if you will. But yeah. So eventually you get back to the Jedi starship where Osha and her master catch up, her asking about, the droid and tattoo. She talks about how she got it from let's see a night with her crew, but let's see, this leads to a little some tension a bit where she realizes he doesn't really like it, but says it doesn't really matter, and they end up asking if he really thinks that her sister May could have killed Indra, but she says that's the only really explanation. With Raw, she does try to reassure him that whatever happened at night and Bennett was not his fault, even though he says that he tried to save both of them and tried to teach her to make pace. But she ends up feeling she was never a good student, but he ends up saying that he probably wasn't a good master. And then they eventually approach Ogla, where they meet the local Jedi there. And one of the Padawans come out. This a big chubby guy, which I can't recall who this actor is, but he kind of reminds me of something that Star Wars has done. But anyway, they bring the girl, and she identifies Osha as like the one who asked her to shut down the droid thing. Meanwhile, May has gotten back inside the the temple to speak with Master Tolan, and even though the Jedi crew with Osha enters in with Jedi Master Yor thinking that Tobin will speak to him, even though he's been silent for 10 years for the Force thing. As he says that he knows why, she talks to him saying he knows why he took the Barish vow, believing it'll give him peace, that it was sorts, but he ends up waking up and hearing her talk about how it's not really worked, and that eventually he might have to confess his crimes to the council, but offers her a way to seek her forgiveness. He ends up waking, saying that he's been waiting for her, and asks for her to forgive him as he takes the drink, as he thought they were doing the right thing. He takes it, and then he dies. But when Asha sees a younger version of her sister in the Force vision, he ends up separating from the group. But Yord shadows her. Following her, she arrives where the Jedi Master is now dead. She checks like the poison vial and closes his eyes, but unfortunately the other Jedi arrive at the time, and it looks like she's killed him, which is what the bearded Jedi seems to believe that she's done, drawing a blue lightsaber towards her, but she gets defended by Yord, who confirms that he was tailing her the entire time. And you're realizing that he took the poison and all that stuff. They realize that they realize that it's from her homeworld, and that they need to investigate, though she does thank Yord for defending her. Where they then start doing a lookout at the shop where I believe Quimmer is, as the Jedi Padawan that was there identifies him as not being a regular at the shop, so they decide to go and investigate, if you will. Oops. Let's see where once they get realize what he is, they start having some plans with Yord Fender being like suggesting that they go and stun him and bring him in for questioning. But Lorne, the Padawan, insists that they sent Asha to impersonate Mai and speak with him so they can get a recording of like the conversation and to possibly get a confession, which Sol agrees with this idea, and then gives her a some sort of stun blaster, or at least something like that. Yord protests, given like it breaks protocol, but Sol says that Asha can use it since she's a former Jedi, and with her using a pip droid, they use the disguise. They use that as a recording device. She ends up getting the disguise, entering the shop. He thinks she's Mai at first, There's a little bit of an awkward high thing, and then he ends up asking if she poisoned her, which this just starts to get the Jedi to move, but Master Yor says to wait a bit. At least all the younger ones are. And then as he starts talking about a master, that's when Yor says that they move. But Quinmar starts to suspect that May isn't really, that Osha isn't really May. And this is where she draws out a gun. The Jedi surround him. Rissy told that they have the confession of the crimes. And then they're going to turn him in. But they might be lenient if they tell her, might even let him go if they tell him where May is. And he says that she's coming here later tonight. So so not to harm him and all that, but yeah. Anyway, they then start to do a perimeter with Lon, Compson on the ship, Yord being lookout with Osha staying with Yord. He plans to confront her. May, though tells her to stay behind. Osha really wants to confront May, but So insists that he needs to deal with him alone, and that even though she says that you brought him here, he brought her here, he says he did not realize that Osha was still angry with May, which she points out she did kill her family, but Sol advises to let go of her grief. Steve says she wants justice, but he thinks that it's actually revenge, hence the name of the episode. With saying that he couldn't save Mai and Osha before, but asks to do another chance. But Osha thinks that Sol's being foolish since he want to kill the 4 Jedi on Bandok, and that includes him, as well as this other Jedi called Klenika, who's a Wookiee Jedi, which I think was mentioned earlier in the episode. But Yor insists that Osha have faith in him and both her. Eventually, Yord spots May and then tells the others. Osha listening's on the comm, and then Giant Master Yor confronts her, and then she removes her hood, and then starts fighting the Giant Master to hand-to-hand combat, and also using the Force. She tries to use some of her knives, but he steals the knives from her pockets, though she has one up her sleeve. After a little talk, and May learns that her sister is actually alive. She gets a bit angry and tries to throw him, but Yord uses the Force to catch that weapon and then drops in, and so does I believe Jen with or Lon with the spaceship, but she uses the Force to disappear. Now I forgot to mention, there was a bit where Yor used the Force to levitate her and then read her mind to try and find more about this master, but she doesn't know much about it, as the Master's kept even his secret identity from her. Eventually, she escapes, pushing by bystanders and even stealing a speeder from someone that seemingly knocked her down, but and tried to help her out, but she tossed him aside. But she ends up seeing her sister Osha. Osha fires the blaster at her after a bit of a stare off, but she manages to escape. She ends up failed, and even though the other Jedi tried to reach there in time, and unfortunately she's unable to hit her, and as she escapes, the other Jedi arrived, and then we get a new scene where Master Snow is contacted by Master Raroff, who says that they must now go to the Jedi Council meet. He must now go to Jedi Council meeting to discuss the threat of the trained outsider, saying that her former one going rogue. Now you have this assassin, but Yor says that they need to know that they need to try and follow it, and they know where she's heading next, as they know who his next target is. But Master Roth says that they need to make meaningful discussions on this. They can't do it without the will. Can't do anything actions by their own. But yeah. So she ends up saying that she expects Master Yor back at Coruscant, and then we get May confronting Quinn after one of the Jedi that was part of the group. The Jedi was the Padawan that was part of the temple that was helping the Jedi with the investigation. Ritzy starts talking to another fellow Padawan about changing, I think possibly some updates or maybe trying to change posts, I guess. But whatever the reason, it gives May to talk to, Quema about did you betray him, but he says that no, the Jedi just captured him, and they talk a little about her sister a bit, and then offers that he can help her escape from this planet to find the Jedi, the Wookiee Jedi that that's part of her mission to kill. But eventually, the Padawans and the Authority Padawans start to spot them, or at least realize that he's gone missing, and they start running. And then we cut to the final scene in this forest world of Kofra, where you get two scavengers speaking in, I'm not sure what language, but let's see. They talk about trying to find parts in the ship thing, but they see a sign that they don't understand the wreckage from, and then you get a Wookiee coming out. They try to blast it, but he uses the force within its car. As the two scavengers run away, the Wookiee enters like the now abandoned wreckage ship, seemingly implying that this is his home, ending the episode. Okay, now for my thoughts on this episode. I will admit it's also a bit of a short one. I would have liked if it had another 10 minutes. Mostly so I can see some more character interactions with Osha and hold on, let me just get the Jedi Padawans. Jekka Lon. Just because I feel like there seems to be like a bit of a missed opportunity to have a bit of a conversation between these two, since one's a former Padawan of Master Yor, and the other's being a the current Padawan. It's like having them, chat, interact, kind of thing. Saying trying to have like Osha ask how Master Yor is doing these days, and Jai Master, and have I guess it's Elon asking what was Master Yor like when she was his Padawan. I feel like there was some missed opportunity to have with that, but nevertheless, I do like that she at least shows some interest in like her mechanical job and what she was doing with it, particularly after she helped him. After she helped her, try and sort out those power couplings. Interesting to see that Yor does not fully trust Osha, and even maybe due to some personal history that gone on between the two, but thinks that even thinks of the possibility that she might be working with her sister. We know that's not the case, and Yor says that, and he steps up to his trust of her, which I do like how. You've got the sort of bond with like Osha and Yor throughout the episode, with her catching up and seeing what they're up to and all that. Well, with Master Yor getting interested in like her tattoo, and it's like showing that he doesn't really approve of this thing, but she understands. But there's also like a little bit of there's some good times to talk about. One trying to Osha trying to assure him that it wasn't his fault for what happened those years ago. But also some tension about when it comes to like the sister May. It was like with Osha unable to let go, and you're trying to get her, tell you Osha to let him handle dealing with May, thinking that there's some good in her, but Osha's like skeptical because of what she did to her family. You can just like understand Osha's point of view, since as far as she can tell, her sister is a bit of a mass murdering psychopath and is a dangerous and killing Jedi, even though Yor wants to believe that there's some good in her, maybe seeing perhaps a little bit of May and her, a little bit of Osha and May, if you will. So you have that, and even like confident that he might be able to stop her, maybe even save her a bit, but granted, I think her killing a few Jedi Masters has probably exempt her from like this usual path of redemption, except maybe like death by a redemption via Darth Vader. But yeah. But speaking of death of Jedi, we end up learning this new Jedi Master Hold on, let me just get his name out. Whoops, no, not that one. Hold on. Whoops. Let's see, hold on. Jedi Master Torben, who is apparently played by Tommen Baratheon from Game of Thrones. I will admit, he looks. Let's see why he looks. Why he is still, I guess, still young. He looks a lot more older with like the beard and the scar kind of thing. He's taken what is hold on, let me just oops. Jedi Master Tobin. He's taken what is considered the Barash vow. Let's see, I think it's apparently, which was introduced in the Darth Vader comics, where it's an oath taken by a Jedi who completely refrain from all activities related to the Jedi Order as a form of penitence, and usually converting himself to the Force. Let's see, as a sort of atonement thing, so he's done some sort of crime. We saw another Jedi, let's see, one of the Jedi's, Jedi Master Kifla Infern, had taken the vow, so he survived Order 66 until Vader killed him and took his lightsaber to make it his own. But, yeah, he seems to like, let's see, we see him meditating. He seems pretty well in tune with the Force, as May was unable to directly kill him by physical means of violence, no matter what she did, which even caused her to doubt. So I do like how he got that skill from that Jedi Master. But I is curious to see why he feels, let's see, guilty about what happened to May, and let's see what you seem to think you're doing the right thing. But clearly, that was not really the actual case, at least is what May seems to think. But yeah, so he seems to willingly take whatever the sort of poison that May gives her, that he gets from her from her colleague, if you will. So yeah, he ends up dying from that rather than facing the CGI Council for apparently his supposed crimes. So we do have a little bit of mystery as the whole fire. Let's see, start the fire thing by May, the killing on the family thing seems to have. There's more to it than we believe, and it seems like Yor and Tobin had some part in it, which this drove May to take revenge for what happened. Now, the Jedi, we know of, let's see, the Jedi would not intentionally try and do something evil. They would try to do something good. And it seems like for this one, whatever the case was, they, let's see, whatever choices they did, they thought they were doing the right thing, perhaps at the time, but ended up being the sort of wrong choice, and it might have cost a few lives. At least that's what I'm guessing. But yeah. But he ends up taking it willingly and does suicide. So you have that. But it does lead to like it's not what it looks like scene with Osha, with the whole let's see, she arrived at the scene and finding his dead body, but which I thought for a while that means the episode was going to have her on the run again, as her being like let's see, crime, but it seems with the Jedi Yord being there, let's see, that was not the case and was able to defend her actions, so I guess that was a subversion of that trope. Anyway, we've got a comment from like Darth Maul saying, "Hello. I would have loved it to be about Darth Plagueis training Sidious and how he kidnaps more from other Talzin of Dathomir. Not what we have seen so far, but it's my opinion." Well, Darth Maul, let's see, a user who calls himself Darth Maul. Well, that would have probably been a very good and interesting sort of like little prequel thing, or a little Star Wars show or movie at the very least. Well, that would have been interesting. Unfortunately for you, this show is set 100 years before The Phantom Menace, which I believe none of those characters, maybe Darth Plagueis at best, was not even born. So, yeah, they would not be alive during this time. So, they won't get more Darth Maul or Darth Plagueis, if you will, or Darth Sidious in this show because, well, they're not born yet. But But arguably, who knows? It could be possible that might be a prequel they do one day where, let's see, we finally get a story on the canon version of Darth Plagueis the Wise. Whether or not they adapt stuff from the let's see, EU Legends Plagueis novel, or even do Darth Maul and Mother Townsend thing. But either way, whatever that story is, if they ever decide to do that story, it'll probably be its own separate thing from the Acolyte. I'm not sure what they would do with it. Maybe it might be some Tales of the Sith kind of animated shorts, or maybe it will have its own live action series or something. I'm not sure. But for now, they're not going to we're not going to see Darth Plagueis in this show. Instead, we are likely seeing the Sith that is before him or before him, if you will, sort of like his master's master or something like that. But yeah. So we're not going to see that anytime soon, but yeah. Anyway, where was I? Oh yeah, I do like how let's see, Yoda's willing to like it defends let's see, Asha, and she thanks him for it. So there is that. Anyway, I do like how Yord's being portrayed as like this trying to follow the rules Jedi, but also seems to be still being a Jedi Knight for only 2 years. Seems to be a bit young and reckless, and makes him think of like some perhaps maybe not the smartest moves, like when he suggested they just charge in and bring him in, interrogate him for custody. When Darth Maul says, "Yes, sir, fair enough, thank you." But yeah, you get Jack Lon. I do like how she seems to be quite smart with her plan of using let's see, Asha to like pretend to be May, so we're gonna get him to confess his crimes. So I thought that was a pretty clever thing to do. I do like how he's able to tell that it's not really his sister after a bit of talk and questioning. After talking about but unfortunately for him, he was too late because he already confessed about the poison, but realizes that, let's see, okay, why you come to see me? It's like, this is suspicious. And realizes, oh, you look so much like him. But yeah. But speaking of Quima, it's an interesting character, someone that worked for the Hutts and now seems to be working for like May and arguably possibly the Master, which may be the Sith. He seems to have like a very negative view of the Jedi, their dominance, even using a little bit of that first quote from like EU Legends about the Sith code about peace is a lie. Anyway, it's interesting. He seems to be just wants to relax. Seems to be chill and just wanting to like enjoy the beverages of the canteen of like the shop he's taken out and all that, and just wants to have a nice time. But is professional and serious when getting to business, when like getting May the poison and supplies that she needs to try and kill the Jedi. I even do like his philosophy about how everyone has a weakness, even the Jedi. When let's see, May thinks that, oh no, this Jedi did not have any weaknesses, I can't kill him. But it's just like, no, you just got to look at it another way. In many ways, it kind of reminds me about how the whole point of the rule of two is in the first place, where the Sith are not meant to try and directly confront the Jedi like they used to. Instead, go behind the scenes and hiding, kill the Jedi, kill a few Jedi here and then, but wait in the long term before they can execute the plan that would wipe all of them out, which has led to the events, of course, of the prequel trilogy and Order 66, which would wipe out the Jedi. So that was that bit. Anyway, I do like the sort of plan with the recording as he ends up accidentally confessing to the murder. But I do like how he seems to like try to save his own skin. Now, one thing I find questionable is Jedi Master, you're saying that if you cooperate with us, we'll let you go off with a warning kind of thing. I feel like since he's been involved with the murder of a Jedi, I feel like, okay, no, he needs to be taken in. You can't just let him roam scot-free. It seems to be like against, let's see, protocol. I know like Yoda's like saying that Asha having a blaster was against protocol, but this feels a lot more like that. If anything, saying it should have offered like you wouldn't get too much of a pretty harsh jail sentence, but I guess that was not what they're doing, but I guess it's because the plot needed Quama to meet with May later. Anyway, speaking of May, I do like the sort of confrontation you have with let's see, May and Master Yor where they fight. It's more of martial arts again, but they're using a bit of the Force. especially I think when when May uses sort of like the Force to increase the strength of her kick. One thing I will admit, the show's been some of the behind the scenes stuff of the show. People talked about how they're hoping to have these action fight sequences become the new top thing of the series, or at least be on par with like the fight scene of Darth Maul in the Phantom Menace, which arguably while the fight scenes are impressive, and I think they're probably like the best martial arts you've seen in Star Wars, in terms of like, does it top like the lightsaber fights? Let's see, in the prequel trilogy, particularly the Phantom Menace. I would not say just not there yet. I'd say. I mean, it could it happen? I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, because that Darth Maul fight was very iconic. I don't know if it. Let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure if you will ever see a fight scene top it. And in Star Wars, though, granted, it would probably be more to do with lightsaber than martial arts. But I guess we have to wait and see. But at the very least, I would say this has so far probably been some of the best hand-to-hand combat within Star Wars. I do like how you're able to just take away the knives from her. I do like how he gets suspicious about her just trying to attack with no weapons, because that's what her master instructed. I do like how he's able to use the Force to hold her up for a bit and then probe her mind to get answers. And it's like the master. Let's see, the master's so vague that he has no idea that she has no idea that who her master is, so he can't really figure out who he is. Now, granted, we do probably know that he's eventually going to confront this master, arguably for the final, and realize that he might be a Sith Lord. But if that's the case, he's probably going to end up dying at the end of this. But it is what it is. But yeah, anyway, I do like how you got Yoid. Interesting thing about it's when you have like the fact that May believes her sister died years ago, and it seems like she still has some attachment to her, which makes me interesting if means that there's some misunderstanding about her setting the fire and killing everyone, and her sister sort of blames her for that. But yeah, but either way, it seems like she still has some form of attachment to her sister, or some emotions to her, though granted, Asha does not feel the same way, given, let's see, she blames her for the death of their family. But it seems like when her dinar eventually leads to some rage and she tries to throw a knife from the sleeve. I do like how Yord, but she uses the Force to catch it and tells her that, no, the Master speaks the truth. Asha is alive. But I do like how May uses the Force to create a sandstorm to escape once let's see, Yoid and Lon confront her with Lon in the ship kind of thing. And she's able to escape. And I do like the sort of desperation you see of her running. It's like, oh, I'm trying to escape. Let's see, pushing bystanders and even stealing a speeder. And I do like the sort of confrontation we have with May and Asha. Granted, due to the fact that they're portrayed by the same actress, at least when they're adults, when they're kids, they're actually played by two different twins. So you have like this little like silent moments, like let's see Asha, and it's like you're alive, and Asha just probably looking where he's looking at her, confirming that okay, she is alive, but it's cut short when she tries to shoot her. Now, interesting thing with the whole blaster thing, you gotta wonder, given the fact that she missed, you gotta wonder, because did she intentionally miss, or did she like have a, let's see, second of hesitation and let's see, couldn't really bring herself to shoot her sister? Ooh, look at what we have here. Ta Karacho say, you who know everything, do you know who is taller, Savage Opress or the ninth sister? The thing is that in Wikipedia, only Savage appears, which is 2.8 meters after his transformation. Who is taller, the ninth sister or Savage Opress? Hold on. I have never really paid too much attention to like the height of Star Wars characters. I will be honest, but I can't really tell let's see who's bigger. But if I had to guess, I mean the Night Sister is pretty big, but hold on, let's see. Let's take a look at her species. She's a Dalwalton. Uh, what does it say about their regular height? Let's see, because they're supposed. Let's see, what does they say? Their biology and appearance. Let's see. It doesn't really say what their average height is. Let's see. Han. Well, I have no idea what their size is, but if I had to guess, I would probably say Savage with the Night Sister magic might be bigger just because of his intimidating presence and all, but I wouldn't be confirmed. But I assume that, see, at the very least, I think Savage is either bigger or he's at least similar, or at least around similar size. But yeah, I would probably say Savage taller for now until I guess we get some data, unless I find some data that sort of debunks that. At the moment, I'm just gonna guess Savage Opress is the taller one. So yeah, that's my guess for the moment. I could be wrong, but I know. I guess I just need to see a Zabrak and a Dotan Bitsy next to each other. Let's see. Ooh, to Cacho says, if they are almost the same, thank you. May the force be with you. May the force be with you too. Thank you for the question. Well, not the sort of question I was expecting during this review, during this discussion on the Acolyte. Anyway, well, I was like, oh yes, let's see, Asha trying to shoot May. I do wonder if she was hesitating to try and shoot her sister and missed, but who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see how let's see how she has a conversation with her master next sprint, because he told her to stay away, and she said she wanted to handle it. But it makes me wonder if there is going to be some confrontation with the Master Yor and Asha for what happened. Or if the Jedi blame her for missing the shot. But either way, it will be interesting to have like sort of this dynamic, because it's like you got one sister that hates the other at the very least, but might not be, but might have some hesitation of actually trying to kill her down the line. And another one that was long thought was dead, but is shocked that is alive and maybe seeming a little heartbroken. She's trying to shoot her or not, but who knows? She might end up trying to kill Asha in the future. But yeah. But we do know that one is strong in the Force right now and one is not active in the Force, which I forgot to mention last episode. I do like how Asha tried to use the Force, but due to not being trained as a Jedi for 6 years, has seemed to have lost that touch. But yeah. But either way, the attempt to capture May was a failure, and now Yor's been reported back in the Jedi Council, which I guess it goes to show you some of the flaws of the Jedi Council in the sense where they say, oh, they need to have discussions and meetings on this, but it's like you got a current Jedi killer on the loose, and Master Yor has a very good idea that who her next target is, and where she's likely going to end up in the future, which it makes you think like Jedi Council perhaps not have a meeting about this and go to Jedi Master. Let's see what we get. Let me just find it. Let's see, Jedi Master Kelanaka, and let's see, prepare an ambush for this acolyte / assassin. I do like how Mage questions her partner. Did you sell me out? But he tries to defend himself, like saying, "The Jedi ambushed me," but I do like how he has a way of telling her that I know how we can get out of here and find your next Jedi target thing. Which I am curious to see how these two work together in the future. As it's interesting that that there are suppliers for like the master has for the acolytes, I guess it goes to show the sort of, let's see, behind the scenes network the Sith built up over the years to like eventually bring down the Jedi. But I'm curious to see how the relationship with Quema and May goes down the line. I do know some wonder if perhaps Quema is actually the Master's true form, because it's like since we only see him in his helmet. Now I'm not sure if that is true or not, or maybe he's another acolyte secretly. But either way, we're probably going to learn more about this character down the line. At the moment, I'm not going to say he's the Master, but that is a possibility, I guess. But I think I'd rather prefer him to just be his own separate character, because I do like the sort of interactions he has with May, and I do like how he seems to be able to deduce when it's not really May but Osh in front of him. But I do also like some of his like sort of cowardly nature when confronted with the actual Jedi, despite all that bold talk about what they're like earlier before. But then again, they do have lightsabers, and it shows that he didn't really have an idea of like everything what the Jedi do is like, oh, read your mind kind of thing, not realizing that the Jedi wouldn't really do that unless they had no other choice to. But yeah. Anyway, the episode ends with another rather quick cliffhanger. I thought that was a bit quick, but I do like how you got two humans speaking an alien language of Star Wars to try and when trying to scavenge. For the Wookiee design of the Jedi, I will admit it's not the best looking Wookiee thing, and I guess it might be just due to the sort of top bit you have of the Jedi hair knot thing at the end. But yeah. Now, granted, I think in the trailers he eventually wears Jedi clothes again, but he seems to be just looking more like a sort of Chewbacca-like look. But if I had to guess that, let's see, he has gone in self-exile from like the events that led of like a May and Osha's backstory, with like the whole Via in the Village thing. So perhaps he's gone in self-exile. But who knows? But from what I can tell from the trailers, he eventually rejoins the Jedi. So I don't think, let's see, he's going to end up dying next episode. Because I think one criticism I've seen some people have for like these first two episodes is that, okay, a Jedi's dying every episode. But I don't think that's going to be a like recurring trend. At least I hope not. But yeah, I hope that we get to see a bit of this Wookiee Jedi in action, because it's a Wookiee Jedi. So we do have that. Overall, I'd probably say this episode is a 7 out of 10, like the other one, at least, or maybe 5 out of 10, depending on how you feel in this episode. I don't know. I'm not sure how you in the comments have felt about this episode. If you want to give a score out of 1 to 10, please let me know. And yeah, but I would say for me, it's I'd say around the 5 to 7 out of 10 score is probably how you would give this episode. I think this is like the good fight scenes still. I do like the sort of Jedi detective work and police work. Let's see, particularly Jedi. Let's see, Jacka Lon's plan to use May as Osha has to use May for the thing. Granted, like I said, I wish there was another 10 more minutes just so I have more character interactions and bonds a little bit, or at least discussing more of the relationships outside of like a main cast. Because at the moment, Yor and Osha seem to be the two characters that get the most interactions, and that's mostly due to their history with each other. I would like a little, perhaps more interaction with Osha and Lloyd, but Yoid, Yoid down the line. As these are like two Jedi friends where they drifted apart, and Yoid does not fully trust her, even though he is willing to defend her when proven innocent. So there's that, and also the one between Osha and Lon, who is like former Padawan and current Padawan to Master Yor. So there's that. But yeah, and I guess the other interaction, maybe some more interactions with like May and Quema. So far it's like Osha and Yor, May and Quema. Those are mostly been the reactions that have been the best so far on the show, because I think they've been given time to do. The other ones haven't really had that much of the time. But yeah. So I do like that bit, and also so the fight scenes, the sister confrontation, and the fact that we got teased the Wookiee Jedi next episode. Yeah, Oh, good, some good stuff though. Also, maybe some questionable things like, well, might let you go with a warning if Kramar helps them, find where May is. I feel like the Jedi should have just pretty much handcuffed him and locked him away, given the fact that he helped Jutsi create a poison that kills Jedi. So yeah, that sort of that's a sort of point off for me there. So yeah, overall I enjoyed it. I think the performances are pretty good for the most part, though. I think some might find Yoy to be a bit stiff for the first two episodes, but yeah. But overall, I enjoyed this episode. So for those who end up listening, Darth Maul, Taku, and maybe Derpy Entertainment, if you were here earlier, but yeah. But I see you've both left now. So thank you for your time. And it seems that me just rambling on has led to you to leave before I ended this episode review. But yeah, I'm going to end this now. So those who end up listening, I hope you enjoyed what I had to say. But for now, I am Blue Star Saber signing off. See you next time. Goodbye for now. May the Force be with you.